Southside Mavericks take on the Fayetteville Bulldogs. The opening kickoff was returned by Fayetteville. That was Christian Setzer on the return. Gets it out to the Fayetteville 38-yard line. They will start there with their quarterback, Drake Lindsay. Lindsay takes a snap. Here's a handoff. It's going to be hit and dropped in the backfield. A good job by the Southside defense getting over there making the play. That is, looks like big old number 94 for Southside, Andrew Reeder.
Good to see him getting started early.
Well, that's going to be a key for Southside. And like it was last week, too, Terrell, was the fact that Southside started out really good. They started out trying to run the football. Then they hit the big play on the pass play to Isaac Gregory. And then the defense settled in, had a good first half. Here's a pass completion going to be complete across the 40-yard line up to the 44-yard line.
A lot of Mavericks getting to the football right now. I like to see that.
Carter Zimmerman makes the play for the Southside defense. That's interesting. They've got Zimmerman working at quarterback. He's a jack of all trades.
He absolutely
Cornerback, quarterback, receiver.
Yes.
Be a big third down here for the Southside defense. Third down to about 5. And now we've got a whistle. Looks like Fayetteville may take a timeout.
It looks like a little laundry down there, Keith.
This may be offsides on Southside. I can hear the coaching staff over there next to us. And
bit of an overthrow on that one.
Got another flag on the play as the ball goes incomplete. This may be a hold here, Terrell, where the flag's at.
That's right. Just looking where they tossed it.
Referee's going to get in the game early tonight.
Yeah, well, they probably heard, how we do things down there in Fort Smith. They want to make sure keep it nice and consistent.
They were last week. I thought the Bentonville game, there were several holding calls on both teams that affected several big plays, but they were looking for something. They saw it, and they called it. They were very consistent with the call. So this penalty was actually a bit behind the line, so that'll move it back. It'll be first down, 1st and 22 for the Bulldogs. Still early in the ball game. We've got 10:50 to go here in the first quarter, no score. As Drake Lindsay looks to the sidelines to get the play call. Little bit of confusion here.
Yeah, they're debating something down there, Keith. Seen a lot of debating in football this year.
This game last year, Fayetteville, a very good team. They really outplayed Bryant last year in the state championship game and should have won the game with the exception of a few turnovers. They played Southside last year, and Southside really gave them a good ball game. I believe it ended up being a 2 or 3 score ball game by the end, but Southside was in it up until the fourth quarter.
Yeah. That's what I hope to see here tonight.
Yeah. And what you look at, too, on this Southside team is we talked about this last week, Terrell, and actually I guess you could have talked about the week before with Rogers, is the fact that you see improvement in this team. You may not see it on the scoreboard all the time with some of these teams. I mean, this is a tough schedule right now. You play Rogers. You've got Bentonville last week, Fayetteville this week.
There's not too many easy Friday nights in this conference, that's for sure.
Be 1st and 22 for the Bulldogs as Lindsay wants to throw. Has time to throw. He's going to be hit and going to be dropped in the backfield. Ball on the ground. Southside has it.
A little hooping and hollering around here, Keith.
I believe that was Evan Shelby on the recovery for the Mavs. Big John Parkinson got in there and actually forced the fumble.
It's a little bit of a lazy snap. I don't know if you saw that right off the bat, but they kind of got it back there a little bit later.
Well, that's kind of thing we always talk about, too, is that snap.
Execution.
You have that high snap, it throws your whole team, the whole rhythm of everything you're trying to do out. And, for the most part, Southside's done a good job this year.
They really have.
Mavs will have 1st and 10. They'll have this drive on the Fayetteville 34-yard line. Here's a handoff to Gregory. He's going to be hit, going to be driven back. Not much there.
It looked there for a second like he had a big hole for him, but I think he might have got to it a little bit too quick.
That was Bo Nolan over there leading the charge for the Fayetteville defense. Name you'll recognize on Fayetteville is Brooks Urachek, Hunter Urachek's son. And I'll tell you what a great job Mr. Urachek has done at the University of Arkansas. All their programs are very competitive. Here's a handoff again off the right side, and looked like it had a chance to really be a big play. But a nice close there by the safety comes up and makes the play for Fayetteville. That was Will Cattell on the tackle.
Yeah, it looks like we got about one more step and we break that hole wide open.
Actually, I believe that was Isaiah Taylor. I've got a roster. We've got 2 13s on here, and they've got the defensive players highlighted in dark. It's a good problem to have if you've got a roster where you've got several same numbers. Third down for the Mavs, 3rd and 7. Terrell wants to throw, throws an inside screen complete. He's at the 25-yard line at the 20, 15, 10, down to the 9-yard line.
Who need any work in that magic?
That was Grayson York on the tunnel screen. Love the call.
I do too. And if you notice, that was not a high pass. That thing hit him right on the numbers. That's what you got to see on that play.
And I like Grayson York, too. He's not real big, and you put him in that type of a situation, it's going to be hard enough just getting him down. He made a nice move there to get positive yardage. Here's a handoff off the right side to Gregory. Fights his way down to about the 6-yard line. Again, Taylor's there to make the tackle.
Some tough yards there inside that 10-yard line.
The second goal from the 6. What a big play for the Mavs. You got to get these points. You get the fumble on the opening possession. Got to take advantage of it. Still early in the first quarter. We've got 8:52 to go here in the first quarter.
Got that trips look to the field again. I love that look.
Here's a keeper by Harrell up the middle. Is going to be hit and will fight his way down. And there comes the scrum. They're going to try to push him in.
I didn't know if they was going to blow the whistle.
Well, I was kind of hoping maybe they would until they got to the end zone.
A second ago when they stood up Gregory, they didn't blow the whistle for a long time. So I thought maybe they'd let that one go on in.
This will be the 6th play of the opening drive for the Mavs. I love that call, though. You play off of Gregory, and then Harrell keeps the ball. You get the defense reacting to Gregory, opens up a nice hole there. So you're down on the 2-yard line. I think you're in a situation here, too, Terrell, where I think it's 2 down. Yeah, it's 4 down territory here. Here's a handoff to Gregory to the end zone. Touchdown, Southside.
I got to say it. We're at Razorback Stadium. Touchdown, Arkansas. My kid's been waiting all year for me to say that. Oh, Shifty. I'm glad to see him get going.
Well, Chuck Barrett was actually lived in Fort Smith for a while. We got to talk to him. He actually coached baseball at the Fort Smith Boys Club for a while. And interesting story about him, he actually was the sports director at KTCS.
Huh.
The news director was Darren Bobb. That's a pretty good combination.
Yeah, that's right. Mr. De La Souce making the play.
Good drive by the Mavs. It was a 6-play, 35-yard drive, a 2-yard touchdown run by Isaac Gregory. But obviously the big play of that drive, Terrell, was the inside tunnel screen on 3rd down, 3rd and 8. You get the tunnel screen, gets it down, 1st and goal at the 9-yard line.
Huge. And kind of like we said last time, the only thing that would have made that drive any more perfect is taking about 10, 11 more minutes off the clock, but we'll take it. Points is always good.
They get another fast start for the Mavs. And unlike last week, Southside, and just kind of thinking ahead a bit, will get the ball to start the second half. So,
yeah, I love it. My favorite play in football.
I really think that plays into a game quite a bit. It's when you're able to have control of that. It kind of really determines what goes on at the end of last week we were worried about Bentonville getting some things done there towards the half. Here's a short kick by De La Souce, and it's going to be fielded by Fayetteville. He's going to get up across the 40-yard line. A little bit of trickery there.
Yeah, they had some kind of idea going on right there.
I like that. You're 1 and 4. Do some things.
That's it.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Well, and everybody needs to work on a little bit of something different,
And you might catch them, too. We saw last week Arkansas do that onside kick, and the kicker went down and actually recovered the football. They weren't ready for it.
Our kicker plays too good at safety. He's back there waiting to make sure nobody broke through the lines, I believe.
We call that frog man.
Yeah.
We played as kids. It was the frog man. Lindsey wants to throw the ball, looks down the field, will throw the ball. It's going to be complete, and he'll be run out of bounds after about a 6-yard gain. That's Zimmerman on the tackle.
I like that coverage, not giving them too much space.
That was Kalen Morris on the catch for the Bulldogs. Brings up second down, 2nd and 3. Here's a handoff. He's going to have the first down. That's J.J. Harjo on the carry. Gets into Southside territory down to the Southside 43-yard line. Here's an inside handoff. He's going to be hit and dropped. No gain on the play. Well, that's Big John Parkinson along with, kind of hard to see the numbers a bit down there, but there's big old number 94 down there for the Mavs. Andrew Reeder on the play. Reeder's making himself known here early in the ball game.
Yeah, it's a lot farther down there than it usually is for us. See those numbers.
Brings up second down, 2nd and 13. Here's an inside screen, and Southside plays it well.
Beautiful. They knew that one all the way.
I believe that was Evan Shelby on the play for the Mavs. Shelby, a big first quarter, makes a nice play right there, recovered the fumble on the opening Bulldog drive. They'll bring up 3rd down, 3rd and 10. So far, seeing some good linebacker play from the Mavs. Big chance here for the Southside defense on 3rd down as Lindsey wants to throw the ball. Looks down the field. It's going to be an inside screen set up across the field. We've got a flag on the play.
That might be a pick. Illegal screen.
There was Jason Delamar on the catch.
They're debating it again down there, Keith.
That's my question, and I noticed this a lot in the game last week, the Alabama game. It seemed like every time they had a call in the game, they wanted to talk.
Had to have a conference about it. That's right.
And the other thing they had to check on, too, every time was every time Arkansas scored a touchdown, they had to review it.
Yeah.
This can't be happening. I don't know what it is. Maybe a lineman downfield, actually. They're going to wave it off now. The biggest problem I have with them waving off a penalty like that is they go and they consult, and it's going to be a first down, I believe.
It's close.
Well, they've got him marked short, maybe about a yard. As they go talk to the other coach, I guess, to decide. And it's not a good look.
No, not at home.
Here comes the heat. They throw the ball over, and it's going to be complete. That is Harjo on the catch. He's at the 20-yard line at the 15, at the 10, cuts it back to the outside. We'll get down inside the 5 to about the 3-yard line where Joseph Kincannon makes the play for the Southside defense. Gosh, we had a chance to get him right there and just couldn't make the play.
4th and short, and they went long.
Be 1st and goal for the Bulldogs inside the Southside 5-yard line. Here's a handoff to Arjo up the middle. He's going to fight his way down to about the 2-yard line. As John Parkinson gets him from the backside. The 2nd goal. This will be the 7th play of this drive that started at the Fayetteville 40-yard line.
Now they throw the flag.
Might be an illegal motion on the Bulldogs.
I don't know. They're talking about waving it off down there.
Okay, settle down now.
Sorry.
What I don't get the discussion.
Yeah, that's me. I don't understand the debate.
If it's cut and dry, there was an illegal motion. You had 2 receivers going at the same time. If it is a penalty, just mark it off. Let's play football.
That's it. It's like an extra timeout down there.
I always laugh. At some point, they're going to start going to maybe doing a review of the play to see, see if it actually was.
You could probably do that up here. I don't know if you could do that back home. Maybe that's what they're doing right now, Keith. Maybe they got a replay somewhere.
I'm thinking they called Southside for offsides is what I'm thinking the penalty is. And I think they're trying to figure out how to mark ball inside the 1 yard line. That's about a
4-inch gain.
Yeah. I think that may be what. I think Coach Dameron wants to know who the penalty's on because that's the second time tonight that Southside's been called for offsides. Now they're going to move it back now. It's going to be a big penalty.
Mm-hmm. Maybe they're just going to leave us guessing. Well, we're pretty sure it's on Fayetteville.
Yeah, I just don't really know what the discussion was about.
No.
That was just they'll bring up second down, second goal. As Southside comes to the blitz, they get there early, and the ball is complete out. That is Christian Setzer on the catch.
They're loving that little inside screen, tunnel screen.
That was Carter Zimmerman again over there making the play for the Mavs. The key for Southside defense right now, is Blake Mitchell on the tackle for the Mavs. The key for Southside right now is they're missing that initial hit.
The first contact.
The first contact. You make that, you're going to be in good shape. Coming with the blitz again. Here comes the blitz. They're going to throw the ball to the corner of the end zone. It's going to be a touchdown.
Almost looked like they'd practiced that before.
Yeah, that was Grayson Garrett on the touchdown for the Bulldogs. That was a nice play, though.
Really
Southside did a good job. I like what Southside's thought process was. Let's bring the heat. Let's make Lindsey make a quick decision, and that's what they got out of it. But they did a good job. Just a nice pitch and catch. You can't really stop that. We saw that a lot last week as Cameron Calhoun makes the extra point.
I think they're working some kind of hard count down there too, because it seems like they're kind of making their own guys move a little bit, but they're just about drawing us offsides every snap down there. Like every time we got a blitz coming, we're just about in the backfield before the ball is.
Well, you've got a Lindsey at quarterback, and there's a long line of Lindseys that have played at Fayetteville High School, and so you know there's going to be some smarts there with that young man being from a football family.
Well, it's all knotted up. Got us a new ball game.
We've got 4:47 to go here in the first quarter. What I do like on what Southside's done on defense is having Carter Zimmerman on defense. He's a tackler.
Oh, yes.
He's made 2 or 3 really nice open field tackles out there to keep the place from going any further than what they did.
Think he's going to get – oh, they kicked it to Isaac. That'll be kind of interesting to watch toward the end of the game. See if they keep kicking over to number 1.
That young man's got a leg, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one was definitely about 5 yards deep.
Be 1st and 10 for the Mavs. They'll start this drive on their own 20-yard line. This will be their second possession of the ball game. We're all knotted up here at 7. Southside took advantage of an early Fayetteville fumble to go 35 yards in 6th place for the first time they had the football. Here's the handoff to Gregory. He's going to fight forward. We'll get maybe 1, maybe 2 yards. What I've noticed about this Fayetteville defense is they are fast, quick to the ball. So the things that will work against these guys will be the misdirections. We saw it on the first series with the screen pass to Grayson York. We saw it with the quarterback keeper by George Harrell. The misdirections will really probably what Southside will have to live and die with tonight.
Well, and what I've noticed about that Fayetteville defense, once they get their paws on you, you're going down.
Here's a nice outside run by Gregory across the 30-yard line, and we'll get across the 40-yard line. And a great job and a great job by Gregory at about the 32-yard line. Looked like he's going out of bounds.
Stayed
and,
in.
Yeah, and he got a nice block
Yes,
off
he
that
did.
corner too, and he stays in bounds and gets that extra 8 or 9 yards.
I believe that's who's subbing in there for Connor.
You know, Zendra Connor was injured last week, and I think he'd be here. Now, here's a misdirection play. That's Harrell on the keeper. That's not how it was drawn up, I believe.
No, but it's good to get a couple yards out of it anyway.
A smart play by George Harrell just to get something out of nothing. They'll bring out second down, second. No, yeah, he turns one way. The running back goes the other way.
Something out of nothing. I mean, he turned and there was nothing. So.
That can't
No
be a good.
words.
That can't be a good feeling when that happens.
No, never for a quarterback.
Bring up second down, second and 8 for the Mavs.
Not unless you look up and somebody's wide open downfield and you throw it, but you know you're gonna go get hit.
Here's the inside handoff again to Gregory's going to try to bounce it outside.
Nice.
He's going to get it outside across the 45, cuts it back inside down to the 40. We'll have a Southside first down.
There's another make something out of nothing.
Saw this in the second half with Gregory, even when Southside was down and the game was out of their reach. They were able to, he was running hard the whole game. Never slowed down at all. And they're going to bring in Jaden Wilson will check into the ball game for the Mavs.
That's what I like to see. That's what I like to see is them give Isaac a little break early.
Yeah, I like Jaden Webb. He's got that size. I think he's got that size that'll
He's a
help.
bruiser, and he's going to give him time in the passing game.
Here's a nice outside pass complete. We'll get about 4 yards on the play. That was Jackson Pruitt on the catch.
Yeah, we've been waiting to hear his name called this season a lot, too.
Joaquin Fox now will check in for Webb. I believe that's really the key for Southside going forward is to get some production out of Fox and out of Webb. Giving Gregory a blow, I mean, you could play a game where, I want to try to run the ball a lot, but Gregory is just not really built to take that punishment.
Well, he'll go and go and go, but he'll lose a step, after 4 quarters of it. You want to keep him safe, too.
Here's a roll up by Harold, looks down the field. Will throw the ball deep down the field for Grayson York, going to be incomplete.
Long and you're never wrong. That's what I always tell those quarterbacks. That's a pretty ball.
That was Deuce Cooper on the coverage. Had good coverage, did a good job, and it's the cornerback's best friend right there using the sideline. Everybody was fooled on the play, really.
They really were.
A nice bootleg play there. Everybody was fooled except for Cooper, who was able to defend the play. Brings up third down, 3rd and 7 for the Mavs. And I would almost think here, too, Terrell, that you're probably, if you're the Mavs, as long as you get positive yardage on 3rd down, it's probably 4-down territory.
Absolutely.
Again, Southside going to go with that trip set to the wide side of the field. Here's a handoff to Gregory. He's going to try to bounce it outside. We get to about the 35-yard line. We've got a fumble on the play.
Grabbing that leg right down there, Keith.
Well, he had a stinger last week. I talked to him after the ball game. He had a stinger during the game. He may be still dealing with that just a bit. But you notice they took him out for a couple of plays and put Webb in there for one play and then Fox in for the other play. But that was one of those fumbles, though. He was on the ground when the ball came loose, but that was one of those extra efforts that happen sometimes. Southside this time will come with 2 receivers either side of the field. And you miss Xander Connor out there. You got that physical mismatch that you don't have when he's not in the ball game. And now we're going to have a timeout. Southside going to take a timeout.
Well, you did it again, Keith. You called it. You said they were going for it on 4th down.
Well, I think you should. I think you're in a place. I mean, if you punt the ball, there's always that chance you might kick it in the end zone. You get 15 yards. I just think that Southside's in a situation here where, take some chances. We saw kind of a semi-onside kick earlier in the ball game, and I've got no problem with that. I like the idea of doing some different things and putting the other team back on their heels a bit. And that's what Southside's done here in the first quarter. We're down to 1:30 in the first quarter. Southside tied here at 7.
You don't think give the leg a chance with the wind to his back?
Well, here's one thing.
52 yards.
Okay, here's something you got to.
Okay,
here's something you got to consider too, though, is the goalposts are college goalposts.
Yes.
So they're actually
Tighter.
they're narrow, and it was kind of like the Razorbacks 2 weeks ago at Texas Stadium, missed a field goal because the goalposts were actually higher.
Yep.
And you know, Southside won a state championship one year on a Josh Davis field goal. It was because, you know, I was thinking the same thing, man. He don't have quite the room he would have if it was high school. Looks like Fayetteville may come with the blitz here. They'll back off now as Harrell has time to throw the ball. Well, throw the ball is going to be incomplete. Really a pretty good defensive play there. The ball was intended for Grayson York, but Deuce Cooper came up and it was borderline close, but I think he hit him right when the ball got there. You can't make a much better play than what he did.
No, but I'll tell you what, they threw a strike. I like it when Georgia's throwing strikes out there.
Well, I think that's something that the Mavs are going to have to watch too. Is you're going to have to figure out where number 2, Deuce Cooper, is on the field. This young man is a very good cornerback, and he's showed it in his coverage with Grayson York several times. So they're going to have to be careful there, maybe to look and see where number 2 is on the field. Be first and 10 for the Bulldogs at the 35-yard line. Lindsey wants to throw, throws the ball outside. It's going to be complete. They're going to run him out of bounds. Again, that was Zimmerman over there on the coverage. That was Kalen Morris on the catch.
Looked like Cage Castling all the way over at the sideline helping out too.
Yeah, Castling, you mentioned him. That young man.
He gets all over.
His motor never slows down.
I hadn't seen it yet. I hadn't seen it slow down.
He's an undersized defensive end, but he's just so active. He's second one for the Bulldogs.
If you're good enough, you're big enough.
Here's a pass over the middle, going to be incomplete. That was intended for Leck McKinney. Ball goes incomplete. That's the other number 2 over there. Brings up third down, 3rd and 1. They can do that too because they had 2nd and 1, and you know that's always a good run pass option right there. And you know, Fayetteville try to take advantage of it.
Playbook's wide open.
Here's a high snap. Now we've got a whistle on the play.
A little bit of yellow down here on this side.
Something you noticed earlier too, Terrell, was the snaps have been a high 4. I think that kind of caused right there. It was a high snap. Lindsey had to go up and get it, and really was fortunate to be able to make the handoff.
It's not just high though. It's like they're coming back a little bit slow. I always call them a lazy snap. I mean, I guess they're pretty safe, but we're getting pressure on him about the time he's catching the football back there.
Well, I think it's more like I call it killing ducks.
Yes. Yeah, a little quacker.
Yeah.
That was definitely how that time.
Brings up third down, 3rd and 6. Here's the throw over the middle, going to be complete. He's going to have the first down at the 45-yard line.
I think that's Joe Kincannon on the tackle, but he's a little slow getting up.
You know, he's gotten better every game.
Yes.
Came in there, I believe, is about midway in the Northside game. He started playing, and you just see that young man. He's going to be an asset for the Mavs, and now looks like he may be injured.
I think he's got a little stinger.
One thing I've got a question too after watching that play too, if you're the Southside coaching staff, and of course I know they know this from watching film, but Drake Lindsey had the middle of the field wide open. He could have tucked the ball and run right there and had gotten the first down. He didn't do it, which kind of tells me maybe he's not a runner.
Well, he's probably like Tom Brady. He preferred to throw it.
You know, Greenwood's quarterback, Hunter Houston, he's that way. He was one last year that he had several opportunities. He could have probably just tucked it in and ran the ball, but he didn't want to. And, you know, if you're a defense, you like that.
Yes,
you can
that's right.
Pin that ear back and go after him.
That's right, Keith. I was actually watching some NFL this weekend, and they had a graphic on there, and they were showing how Mahomes, some of these other guys, they get way outside the pocket, and then you got pocket passers like Brady. They stay right inside those tackles. I think we're seeing a little bit of contrast between the two out here tonight.
Bon Venthong will check in for Kincannon. Got a stack set to the left of Lindsey. Wants to throw again, throws the ball over the middle, has an open receiver, catches it, touchdown. That was Kalen Morris on the touchdown.
Tell you what, they got a heck of a light show.
You know, it's fun doing a game here, but it was always fun too. Every time going to play at Fayetteville, they always put us on the visitor side, a little bitty press box. But it's just I don't know if you've been in their stadium or not. It's just a neat old stadium.
It is.
And the guys were telling me what they're doing is they're building a weight room down in the end zone now, and
Do something with that area down there. Huh?
well, I love playing here. Getting to do this was really a thrill to get to come to Razorback Stadium. I always enjoy going to Fayetteville. In fact, the 7A West stadiums, if you really look at it, they're all great places to do football
Really
games.
nice. I was actually telling one of the Fayetteville announcers earlier before the game, come up to Fayetteville, it's hard to find a better place in Arkansas to get a view.
Of course, old guys like us who can't see very good, it doesn't help.
Well, I've got to take pictures to zoom in.
That was a 6-play, 60-yard drive for the Bulldogs, a 40-yard touchdown pass from Drake Lindsay to Kalen Morris.
I think they're going to put this one over at number 1 again.
Well, this kicker's got a leg, so he's going to kind of pooch kick it here, and it's going to come down to Gregory.
Yeah, kind of held up, I think, by his own man that time.
Southside will start this drive on their 19-yard line. We've got 45 seconds to go in the first quarter. Fayetteville leads 14-7. Been a very exciting first quarter, a lot of action early in the ball game. Mavs doing a pretty good job on the offensive end too, Terrell. They've moved the ball, got held on downs in the last series, but you know the play they called, it was just a nice defensive play by the D-back to stop the drive. But Southside moving the ball early.
I think they ended up moving the ball about 45 yards even on that drive.
And that's going to be the key for the Southside team is your offense has got to give your defense a break.
A little bit of breathing time.
And the Mavs will start on the 19-yard line. Here's a handoff to Gregory. Goes up the middle and will get to the 25-yard line.
Good gain on first down. Heard that name Yurchek that time. You think they're going to say that very often enough?
Well, I'll tell you what, he's quite a ball
He's a
player.
baller. That's
Yes.
right.
Bring up second down, second, and about 4 for the Mavs. We'll take 6 on first down every time.
Absolutely, every time.
Here's a handoff again to Gregory. He's going to fight his way forward and gets
Here
away.
we go.
He's at a 30, 35, at the 40, 45, cuts it back inside. We'll get across the midfield, across the 45-yard line.
Boy, that's pretty when it works.
He just kind of squirted out of there, didn't he?
Yeah, he had a little bit of a block early on.
And that's going to be at the end of the first quarter.
Back on their side of the field.
I think somebody's got to go tell the Stripes that. They were kind of looking at the scoreboard.
Well, it's confusing, Keith. You know.
Well,
It's a different
bigger stadium, you got to try to find that
That's
scoreboard,
Yeah.
right? It's only about 10 times bigger than the regular scoreboard.
I just like that I can look either way and see the scoreboard up here.
Yeah, you know my biggest complaint about this place, though, I've got tickets on the other side. I guess I'm just getting too old or something, but it's so dang loud.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's, I guess, part of it these days.
And the music they play a lot of times is, I guess, it's past me too. So
I just keep waiting to hear some country come on.
yeah, we were joking one time. You know, maybe get some Barry Manilow or Casey and the Sunshine Band out there, get it going.
I
So
could get into that.
Southside will have first and 10 at the Fayetteville 45-yard line as we start the second quarter. It's got to be a thrill for these young men to get to come out here and play. I was talking to Coach Stuart Adams last week. We were talking about it. They got to go play where the Oklahoma City Thunder. And that's just, I mean, to get a chance to do that and say you've done that. I mean, most
In high school.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, that's an amazing experience. I imagine it's pretty amazing for a lot of these parents. The ones that made the trip.
Oh, I'd be walking around that place checking everything out if I had it.
Absolutely.
First and 10 for the Mavs at the Fayetteville 45-yard line. Terrell wants to throw. Here's a pass over the middle, going to be complete, and he's going to be pulled down for about a yard loss. That's Juracek on the play. Ball was to Grayson York, going to lose one on the play, but I like that call, though. Let's bring him over the middle. Let's try to get him going there, and Juracek just makes a really good play.
More times than not this season, we've seen that turn into something big, so I'm with you.
And I like the call, too. Southside's been effective running the football. You kind of get away from that a bit. You try to go up with the pass play, trying to, take Fayetteville out of their rhythm. Didn't work that time, but a good call nonetheless. Actually, they marked it back at the line of scrimmage, so it'll be second down, 2nd and 10. Here's a handoff to Gregory, going to bounce it inside, makes a nice move. We'll have another Southside first down as he gets down to the 32-yard line. 2 moves on that play, Terrell. First, he's going to go inside, cuts it back outside. He's going to get tackled after about a 2-yard gain. He stops, lets the guy overrun the play, then gains 12.
Would you call that a shift?
Definitely.
It seemed like a little bit of a shift there.
Well, I joked with him last week after the ball game. He took that Bentonville defender head on, and we talk about him not getting hit too often. And
he was seeing some hits last week for sure. I hadn't really seen too many.
So he initiated the contact on that one.
That's it.
Joaquin Fox checks into the ball game for the Mavs. Here's a pass down the field, going to be incomplete, intended for Grayson York.
A little bit tall again. I tell you what, they had looked like Joaquin either on a bubble out or maybe even wheel route. He had nobody around him.
Like I said earlier, too, I think the key for Southside going as the season goes on is Joaquin Fox and Jaden Webb, bringing a little bit of getting there, being able to move the football with them at times just to give Gregory a blow, get him out of the ball game. Here's a handoff. Now, keeper by Harrell, cuts it back inside. We'll have a first down inside the 15-yard line. Again, taking advantage of that Fayetteville speed.
Mm-hmm. Tell you what, Harrell, he makes that read. He is hard to bring down.
Another good drive for the Mavs. This will be the 8th play of a drive that started on their own 19-yard line. That's key, too. You give up that last touchdown, which is really a pretty easy touchdown on the pitch and catch of 40 yards. You go down there, you're about to hopefully score here. You've got your defense off the field. Here's a handoff to the outside. That is Gregory going to try to cut it back inside. Going to be hit after maybe about a yard gain.
The beauty of these plays here, just about every one of them keeping the clock moving. We had one incomplete pass other than that. Run the clock. Time of possession, that's key against a team like Fayetteville.
Well, it's like I said, I think your offense could be a good defense, and
Absolutely.
you can stretch the game out. We've got 9:45 to go here. Southside doing a good job. They started this drive with about 45 seconds to go in the first quarter. Have held the ball now for upwards over 3 minutes. Carroll wants to throw the ball, throws it over. It's going to be incomplete. It was there.
Hit him in the hands.
That was Carter Zimmerman. The ball was intended for, and I think he heard footsteps.
Well, he had his hands wrong. He had him like he's almost holding the baby basket hands. And you're supposed to almost have a diamond with both your palms out. He just skipped right off of him. I think he was almost maybe a little bit surprised the ball was coming his way.
Brings up third down, 3rd and 10 for the Mavs. I think depending on what they gain here is what they'll do on 4th down. Here's a pass over the middle. It's going to be incomplete. And I think he was grabbed on the play.
And I think it was a little bit of a tip action. That ball came out there wobbling.
Bring up 4th down, and I think 4th down, 4th and 10, this is definitely where you bring in
The leg.
Jackson De La Sousa in to attempt a field goal. It should be somewhere around 32 yards. Actually be 31 yards. That's what they'll set the tee down at.
I'm going to preface this one with he's got the wind in his face. So I'm expecting to see it right down the middle.
It's Jackson Davis on the hold. Ball is down. Kick is up. Kick is good.
Beautiful.
Nice drive by the Mavs. That was a 9-play drive that started at their 19-yard line, ended up at the Fayetteville 14-yard line, culminating with a 31-yard field goal by Jackson De La Souza.
Come out here and get you another stop, though. Those 3 points right there are huge.
Well, your defense hadn't been on the field that much. That's been a good thing for the Mavs. And again, credit Isaiah Gregory, the running he's doing out there right now. Isaac Gregory. The running he's doing out there has been very effective. Made 3 or 4 really nice runs. And I love watching that young man. But I always think too, and I know I'm harping on this a lot, but if we had him and Tucker in the backfield together, can you imagine?
Well, maybe toward playoff time, you can see one game of it.
Well, I think Tucker's done for the year, actually.
Hey, I believe in miracles.
Well, you don't want to risk something like that at some point. Christian Setzer will be back deep for the Bulldogs. De La Souza will kick off for the Mavs. See what he does here, if he goes deep or if we pooch it again.
A little different every time.
Yeah, he's going to take it about a mid-range kick. It's going to be filled at the Fayetteville 10-yard line. There's a missed tackle on the play. He's going to get to the outside. He's at the 40-yard line, going to be tackled over there about the 47-yard line.
Well, we made early contact. We did not bring him down.
Well, it's so frustrating for this team because those missed tackles. I'm trying to get the number. I believe that is number. But that's Zimmerman coming off, isn't it?
Mitchell, I think. It's 18.
18. He's one that actually probably saved.
It's hard to see the numbers.
Yeah, probably saved a touchdown on that.
Actually, I think it was Zimmerman.
No, I think it was number 10.
Mitchell's out there corner right now.
Fayetteville goes with no backs in the backfield. Going to set up an inside screen, and he's going to get away from the initial defender, cuts it back inside, will have a first down as he gets across the 40-yard line. As Ben Veland makes the play along with Joseph Kincannon for the Southside defense. Fayetteville giving a different look here. They're going to a passing offense as they've got no backs in the backfield, 5 receivers. Bentonville did a lot of that too. They went to the 2-back offense and gave them a lot of different looks. I think that's a really smart move by a coach.
It keeps you guessing.
Here's a pass over the middle, going to be incomplete.
Like we had a chance for that for a second.
That was Landon Schaefer, the intended receiver. Brings up second down, 2nd and 10. We've got 8:41 to go here. Southside trails 14-10. Fayetteville's found something in the passing game. I think they saw it from Bentonville. Here comes a corner blitz. It's going to be an inside pass, going to be complete. It's going to be hit and dropped after about a 5-yard gain.
The one thing I hadn't seen him go to yet is that double move. Bentonville ran that. It was deadly. It was about 30 yards every time they run it.
Bentonville had a big advantage on most teams. That was Braxton Canada making the play for the Southside defense. They had a big advantage in the fact that they had a quarterback that could stop on a dime and make a good throw. Here's a deep pass down the middle of the field, towards the sideline, going to be another touchdown. There's Jason Delmar on the catch.
Different number, but same play.
Well, Terrell, it's been too easy here the last 2 series. Wide open receivers, they're on to something now, and I think that's why you're seeing them going with the no-back offenses. Our corners really struggling to make plays.
Well, it looks like we're getting up there in their face, but I don't think we're making any contact up there at the line of scrimmage. Usually if you're going to play them tight like that, try to go man-to-man with them outside, it's like you got to hit that receiver and throw them off their timing. First 3 yards, because you let them get going, they've already got 2 steps on you.
Well, what the Mav defense is trying to do, they really are coming with a lot of outside blitzes, a lot of off the corners, and I think it's a really good idea and a good philosophy. But what it does, though, it puts your corners and your safeties in man coverage, and they're really struggling to stay with their man. We saw that in the last 2 series. There was a 40-yard touchdown pass, which the receiver was a good 4 or 5 yards behind the defense, and then that time the receiver was a good 3 or 4 yards behind the defense again for another easy pitch and catch. That's 3 touchdown passes tonight for Drake Lindsey. I like the idea of what Southside's trying to do on defense. It's just not getting results they want. Here's a kick that's going to go out of bounds.
It's almost like Isaac's seen that before.
Well, I think what happened on that, it looked like he was about to pick it up, and then I think he realized if he does pick it up that he's probably going to be tackled inside his 10-yard line. So
well, a couple games ago, I think he did grab one back there and fell down or something. It's good to see him learning.
This should bring it out. Now, I know in college it would be at the 35-yard line. And it's going to be at the 35 in high school. And what I'm proud of, there was no conference.
There was not any debate about it. It was just set the ball down and go.
That was a 4-play, 52-yard drive for Fayetteville. Mavs need to answer if they can. They've got Jackson Pruitt playing a lot this ball game. Got him working in a slot. I guess
one good grab.
I guess he's the next man up for Xander Connor. Here's a keeper by Harrell off the right side. Going to be hit and dropped at about the 30. Looks like about the 39-yard line. Be a gain of 4. We've got 7:52 to go here in the second quarter. Mavs doing a good job on first down, getting good positive yardage.
Positive yardage just about every single time. I gotta agree with you 100% on that one, Keith.
Bring up second down, 2nd and 6. Here's the handoff to Gregory, cuts it back inside, and is going to have a Southside first down.
You ask me what I like about the pistol. That right there is what I like about the pistol. They had that play called to the left-hand side. Gregory saw a seam, and he took it and then got the first down.
Offensive line doing a good job tonight, too. Jaden Webb will check back in for Gregory.
Yeah, that line's about back to 100% now, aren't they?
Hey, you got big Kobe Brandon back out now, so which is good to see.
I like watching him move people now.
Harrell wants to throw the ball. Will throw the ball over the middle. It'll be complete to Grayson York inside the Fayetteville 40-yard line.
He's standing still when he caught that thing, and boy, does he get going in a hurry.
We're getting some good open receivers. Southside has had some open receivers here. Had a misfortune of dropping the ball in the last series. It probably cost them a chance of maybe getting 6.
Another thing that helps too is, Harold's back there. He's got all day long. That line is giving him all day long against that 3-man defensive front.
And as you'll notice too, another strategy I think Coach Dameron's working with today. Look at the play clock. We're down to 8. Here's a keeper by Harrell off the left side. The one thing we're not seeing when they bring in these other backs is they're not really using them as more decoys, or it's a passing situation. They're going to, I think at some point they're going to have to try to get these guys into the flow of the ball game.
Well, and sometimes I like seeing you get those new guys out there. We saw it a little bit with Fox. They'll kind of motion him out and go to an empty set, and so it's like that helps a little bit too on your decoy.
Second down, 2nd and 10 for the Mavs. There's a deep pass down the field, and it's going to be incomplete, and he was grabbed.
A lot of contact. Yes, sir. A lot of contact.
That was Carter Zimmerman over there, got the one-on-one coverage. That's what we talked about, being on an island, and that's what happened. I think
they rode him all the way down the sideline.
Yeah, and then I think he grabbed him just for the fun of it there at the end.
Yeah, I did too.
Actually, that probably wasn't a bad play because that was actually a pretty good pass that
really
threw.
was.
I think that might have been a chance to get 6 right there.
I was just glad to see it was a lower ball too. He didn't throw it up high. Didn't float it in there.
So far the Southside offense has played well tonight.
They moved the ball.
Here's a handoff to Gregory up the middle. He's going to try to get outside. It'll be driven back.
He went down on somebody's helmet.
Going to gain 3 on the play. Excuse me, 2. Be second down, 2nd and 8. We've got 5:31 to go here before halftime. Now, Southside's drives tonight, they've had the ball. This is their 4th possession. You had a touchdown on the first drive. Second drive, they gave it up on downs. Third drive, they started from their 19, went down and got a field goal. And this drive started from their own 35. Pretty good position here, 2nd down, 2nd and 8. It's a nice pass, going to be intercepted. And that's Juracek on the interception, and he may take it to the house.
Well, look for a second like we had a gal wide open, but threw it to the wrong guy.
Well, that's been the one thing that has really hurt the Mavs has been the interception. Last week we were in the ball game. We had 3 interceptions in the second half, and this team's just not good enough to overcome turnovers.
Nah, it just makes it a little bit too easy.
Had a chance there to get within 21-17, and then if you look up, it's 28-17, actually 27-10, pending the extra point here.
Blocked it. I like seeing that.
I think that might have been Evan Shelby, or Canada maybe. It's hard to see those numbers. Actually, I think that was Andrew Reeder. Yeah, it was big Andrew Reeder got in there and blocked that extra point.
Shaking his hand off. You see that?
Well, that's a tough pill to swallow if you're the Mavericks right there, the check interception. Because Southside had a really nice drive going there. Had the ball inside the 25-yard line, 2nd down, 2nd and 8. And that was going to be it was actually the 8th play of the drive that started on the 35-yard line. You take the wind out of your sails right there. But that being said, you got 4:51 to go here. 27 down, 27-10. If you can go down, Southside's moving the ball tonight. Done a good job of moving the football. If they can go down, get a touchdown here, they'll get the ball to start the second half. So, they can still get back in this.
Yeah, it's just tough when you think you're about to pull it pretty close, and they just opens it up a little bit more.
Well, the frustrating thing for the Mavs has been, with the exception of the first touchdown, the other 2 touchdowns were fairly easy pitch and catches, and that play right there just is one of those plays that you just can't have. It's bad enough that it gets intercepted, but then Juracek takes it all the way for the touchdown.
I think technically that was a pitch and catch too. Wasn't it? So.
I guess you could say that. Here's a kick. It's going to go to Zimmerman down at the goal line. He'll bring it out.
Good block by Gregory.
Going to get it outside at the 25. He's at the 30, and we'll get across the 30 up to about the 33-yard line. Nice return for the Mavs by Carter Zimmerman. Southside will have good field position. Another thing Southside's done too that I like what Coach Dameron's done too is, it's hard to do it in a hurry-up offense. You want all rhythm. But the Mavs doing a good job of really working that clock down, taking their time, and they did such a great job here in the ball game of keeping this thing close up until that last play.
Kind of interesting to see what strategy they go with right here. 4:42 to go before halftime. I'm sure it'll be a healthy dose of running, but I think we got a little something up our sleeve right here.
Fayetteville has all 3 timeouts. Southside has 2 timeouts. Here's a handoff to Gregory. Boy, he's going to be waylaid over there. And they say we've got a flag on the play. Noah Jansky on the tackle for Fayetteville.
I think it's about as hard as we've seen him hit all season.
It's going to be holding on the Mavs.
I guess the silver lining means that run wasn't a loss. Because it was gone.
Well, you take the penalty because you put them in a situation where at some point they're going to have to pass the ball again. Where that penalty was actually at, we've seen this before. We saw it on Fayetteville had one too. That penalty was actually 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So it'll be back at the Southside 20, which will bring up first down first and 23 for the Mavs. Harrell wants to throw the ball, throws the ball, it's going to be incomplete. Not sure who he was really going to. The ball went over Grayson York's hands, but also running a route with Will Goodman, and the ball
in the area.
Almost got to him, yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to say. Don't know if that's thrown a little bit too tall or a little bit too short.
Bring up second down, second 23 for the Mavs. We've got 4:35 to go here. Stops the clock. And that's the one thing, if you're Southside, you did not want to happen was to come out here, and hopefully it won't happen, get a 3 and out and don't move any time off the clock. Harrell wants to throw the ball. It's going to be incomplete. Intended for Goodman. Had to turn around. The ball was a bit behind him. Will go incomplete.
Yeah, hit him in the hands, but like you said, he had to turn around to get there.
Well, you're in dangerous territory right now with this Fayetteville defense. Got some good corners, so you got to watch those young men. But got to take care of that football. This is probably a play where I would think Southside might try maybe some type of possibly a screen or something, maybe a tunnel screen.
Hit Gregory right up that seam like they did early last week.
Harrell will throw the ball. Throws the ball. It's going to be complete. It's going to be hit and driven back, and now going to be tackled on the play. I believe that was Jackson Pruitt on the catch. No, I'm sorry, it was Jaden Webb.
Kind of an interesting look. Hadn't seen him out wide much.
I heard in preseason the kids were raving about how good of a receiver he was. I think that's one that he definitely can use in the backfield. Tough about that series for the Mavs, though. Didn't even run a minute off the clock. We've got 3:56 to go here in the second quarter. Fayetteville should get good field position. Return man stands back at his 37-yard line. Here's the kick. Take a Fayetteville bounce. Fayetteville will start this drive on their own 43-yard line. John Parkinson down there to down the ball for the Mavs. Actually, I think they're going to call a fumble on this. I think the Fayetteville guy actually touched the ball. Yes, I think he did. Well, let's see. Maybe not. I think Coach Dameron may want to hear about this. Well, they're not arguing anything, so I believe it was discussed on the play, the jubilation from the Southside players. Here's a quick pass out by Lindsey. It's going to be complete. Going to be hit, going to be dropped. That's Russell Keegan making a nice defensive play for the Mavs.
Read that just about perfect.
Moving back to the 42-yard line will bring up second down, second and 11 for the Bulldogs. That was Jason Delamar on the catch. Big series here for the Southside defense. 3:31 to go here. Lindsey has time, throws the ball over the middle, has an open receiver who will catch it inside the 10-yard line. As Devin Huggins is down there about maybe one step behind as Kalen Morris makes the catch inside the 10.
He looked like he's going to sneak in there and make a play.
Yeah. And I'm going to tell you what, I'm laughing because I'm watching Lindsey. Lindsey could just take off. There's nobody in the middle of the field, and I don't think he wants to run the ball.
I think he's one of
I know Coach Casey Dick's probably happy. You don't want to get your quarterback hurt by any means or anything, but he definitely had open field there. Here's a handoff to Harjo, who's going to walk in the end zone, touchdown. Excuse me, Setzer on the touchdown. That was Christian Setzer. I suspect they'll probably go for two here. Let's see if they do. Now going to line it for the extra point. See if Mr. Reader might get back in there.
I'd love that. rest of them.
Extra points up, and it's good. Fayetteville now leads 34-10. They've got 3:08 to go here. Again, it was another big pass play, but on that pass play, Huggins was about one step from making that play.
He's just a little out of position. Gave up the basketball move.
But give Fayetteville credit, too. They're doing a good job. What I call parting the sea is they're actually spreading the field. I laugh when I see Lindsey out there not running the football. He could run the ball, but what it's basically doing is he's got field vision now. He can see everything going on because there's nothing in front of him. No 6'4" or 5" lineman up there blocking his view. He's got a perfect look, and he's taking advantage of it.
Well, I think it's one of the things they're doing with that empty backfield is kind of setting that up for him to where you're splitting that defensive front, giving him that lane to look all the way down the field.
Well, Maya, things have changed. Southside in this ball game only down 14-10. Fayetteville has reeled off 20 straight points, now to lead 34-10. Here's a kickoff. It's going to come down to Gregory. We've got a whistle on the play. I believe we're having offsides. That's one thing you don't see a lot of as I'm caught. I think it happens a lot more than you think, but you don't see a lot of offsides called on kickoffs. I know Isaac was disappointed on that because he had a chance to return that. They've got Jaden Webb also back deep for the Mavs.
Yeah, last time I saw Zimmerman come off, it looked like he was messing with his lip, like he might have got a lip busted on that hit.
Fayetteville will now kick off from the 35-yard line. Going from a different hash this time. It's going from the right hash. Kick. It's going to come down to Webb. Going to get a chance to return it. He fumbles the ball, now picks it up. Makes a nice move, and we'll get across the 25-yard line. Or close to the 25. They'll spot him at the 23.
Did more with it than I thought he was going to do with it after dropping.
Well, you saw the good hands, though. He dropped the ball, yes, but he had the presence of mind to really scoop it up quickly and get some positive yardage. Well, this team is just too fragile to have a mistake like they had early in the ball game, and Southside in the ball game, and then all at once you have the interception, and to top it off, it's return for a touchdown, and that you just can't have that.
Kind of opened it up from there.
Because really, we talked about this. The offense has not played that bad. They've actually moved the ball. They've been able to control the clock. Here comes an inside blitz, a handoff to Gregory. Wants to try to bounce it outside. It's going to be hit. Going to be dropped for a loss. Got 2:53 to go here before the half, and Southside needs to get a first down here just to not give the ball back to Fayetteville here before the half. Fayetteville still has all their timeouts. I would suspect if they get a hold on this play, they may be looking at taking some of those timeouts. It'll be second down, 2nd and 13. A lot of quickness. Here's a pass by Harrell's going to be incomplete, intended for Jackson Pruitt. Which will stop the clock at 2:18. Fayetteville doesn't need a lot of time.
No. That's a well-thrown ball.
Yeah.
The problem with it is if you don't catch it and stop the clock, you don't have time.
Yeah, and then that's been another problem Southside's had this year, too, is receivers several times have dropped. We've seen it here a couple of times tonight. Now we've got a penalty on the play.
That should help a little bit with the clock.
Yeah, field position. Not sure what that was. It might have been roughing the quarterback.
I'm not seeing him really give the sign for what the penalty is.
Here's a handoff to Gregory's going to bounce it outside, gets outside, makes a nice move, and will be hit, knocked out of bounds at about the Southside 47-yard line. Stop and go, stop and go.
It is. I mean, he's got that little shifty move. It's like almost like a jump cut, but it's just a little different. I don't know how you really explain that move.
That's a big play for the Mavs. Maybe get some points here. We've got two. I don't know why the clock's running.
I know he got out of bounds.
He ran out of bounds.
Got hit out of bounds, as a matter of fact.
Here's the pass going to be complete on a nice catch. That's Grayson York on the catch. Well, he had to turn around and
that was unbelievable.
over the shoulder.
Unbelievable throw, unbelievable catch.
Yeah, I don't know why the clock was running there because he was knocked out of bounds. That's 2 weeks in a row we've seen clock malfunctions.
Yes. Well, I think somebody in our stands the other day, they're like, hey, what about the home field advantage?
Well,
I thought that was good.
well, the guy actually came up in the press box
to tell him about it.
Here's a keeper by Harold. He's going to be tripped up. He had a chance to make that a big play, but going to be knocked down there by Jeff Miller. Saved probably what would have been a nice gain, at least
probably
got inside
first
the 10.
goal at the end of it, yeah.
Because you got 1:31 to go here. Southside not in a hurry. Just go ahead and take your time. You got plenty of time. You got 2 timeouts.
They'll go right here and make it a 3-score game again.
There's the handoff to Gregory. Has a nice inside down to the goal line. Touchdown, Southside.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Well, as you would say, though, there's still a 1:07 on the clock.
That's true.
I like what I've seen from the Southside offense, though.
They're starting to get it clicking.
You know, the score is not what you want it to be, but they've played well. Defense really struggling to get some stops tonight, but the offense overall, with the exception of the one series, has really played well. And again, get a stop here. Don't let Fayetteville get any points here before the half. Go in down 34-17, get the ball to start the second half. Southside got some confidence on that side of the ball. Maybe come down, get some points, and get back in this thing.
Get you another touchdown, pull it within 2 scores. You'll see what Fayetteville's made of. And
I asked Coach Stuart Adams this last week. It's a game where, Southside down 14-7 at the half last week against Bentonville. How far in a game do you have to go when you're the underdog in the ball game? You keep it close. The pressure is on that other team.
Always.
It's not on you.
Always. And the longer you can stay in the ball game, the more the pressure starts to mount on them. And, all you really want to do, especially in football, is just want to give yourself a chance late in the fourth quarter.
Big series here for the Mav defense to get off the field. The key to is you can't let them have a kickoff return here. That's been another thing. Fayetteville's done a great job of getting kickoff returns. Here's a line drive kick. Going to be fielded at the 15-yard line. Good job by Southside. They're getting down to the 27-yard line.
That's the one thing early on this season. Kind of was worried about that old special teams, but they really started to come to play these last few games. Hadn't really seen anything big given up on special teams.
Big series here for Southside defense is Fayetteville will check in a running back on this series. 1:02 to go here before the half.
Running cover 3.
There's a pass down going to be complete at the 47-yard line. It was Landon Schaefer on the catch.
I like this look against Fayetteville, but our defensive backs have got to play on that ball a little bit quicker. They're giving a little bit too much room deep.
Good job by the Southside defense. We're running him out of bounds at the 48-yard line.
I'm sure the strategy is keep everything in front of you, but really you want to keep them in bounds if you can. What would you call that defense down there, Keith? The umbrella?
3-3.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Yeah. Southside putting some good pressure on Lindsey. Going to make him roll around. He's going to throw the ball, and good job by Southside defense right there. And also Russell Key had good coverage on the play. He had a 3-man rush with Castling, Reeder, and Parkinson were able to put pressure on, and Lindsey has shown that he really doesn't want to run the football. He was very uncomfortable, but Southside did a good job in coverage. Bring up 3rd down. There's a pass over the middle going to be complete. We'll get inside the 30-yard line to the 29-yard line. That's Kalen Morris on the catch. 33 seconds to go here before the half. They spot him right at the 30-yard line. Bit surprised Fayetteville's got it back in the game right now. Southside only coming with a 3-man rush.
I think they're thinking pass all the way right now, though. Oh, got him from behind. He went down on his knee, I believe. He's a little bit slow walking around back here.
Yeah, that's Parkinson that got back there. Yeah, Lindsey's not moving real good right
I think
now.
he got him at like back coattail.
Bring up 2nd down, 2nd and 10. Yeah, Lindsey's trying to shake something off right
He
there.
is. It's that left knee, it looks like.
Got time to throw the ball incomplete. Looked like his receiver never turned around.
Never did.
Blake Mitchell was there for the Southside defense. We're bringing up 3rd down, 3rd and 10. You say they've got the wind here. I'm not seeing any wind on the flags hardly. So
Just barely at the north end of the end zone is about it.
I
You
tend to
don't
wonder.
see anything on the goalpost moving at all, though, hardly.
I tend to wonder too how much, in an enclosed stadium like this, if it affects it that much.
It swirls. That's what I've always been told. Down here at the ground level, it swirls a little bit.
Good job by the Southside defense. Southside doing a very good job in coverage. As Lindsey wanted to throw to his receiver there on about the 10-yard line, the ball goes incomplete.
Maybe that's what we need to do is run that 3-3 after they get the 50-yard line.
We're down to 15 seconds on the clock. Fayetteville going to take their first time out here. Key for Southside right now is don't give them something easy.
Keep them out of the end zone.
If nothing else, force them to at least try a field goal here. Try to get out of here. If you get out here at 34. As I was saying too, this team is the defense has really struggled tonight in the pass coverage, obviously, but offensively, we've really moved the football well. We haven't, in fact, it's kind of unusual. We've not seen either team's punter tonight.
Well,
we did. No, York had to punt one time.
We had one punt by York. That's right.
Southside going with an unbalanced line this time. They'll load up the left side. Here's a pass over the middle. Going to be incomplete. Southside going to hold on downs.
9 seconds. Can we get 3 plays in?
Okay, Terrell, you're the color guy. What did Southside do difference on that series to stop the Fayetteville pass? Did we drop somebody? Did it have more to do with not blitzing and just dropping back in coverage?
That's what it looked like to me. They had that, three-man line that was actually getting pressure on him. And then you had those three linebackers that were kind of just dropping back on whoever came into their zone. And then you had the three over the top, deep backs that are, just trying to keep everything in front of them.
I like the unbalanced line, too.
I did, too. It looked like it actually forced him to throw from the other side of the field where he didn't like it and do it incomplete.
Southside going to take a knee here wisely with only 7 seconds on the clock.
You don't think Fayetteville's going to stop the clock?
Well, they can't stop it enough to where it would
That's
matter.
right.
So, yeah, Southside's going to trail here at 34-17 at the half. And really, Terrell, I thought it was a first half where offensively I thought Southside played really, if you want to really look at it, you had 17 points. I thought it was one of their better halves on the offensive side of the ball.
Other than the turnover, I mean, we're kind of doing what we're supposed to be doing out there.
Got some scores here. Cabot leading Conway, kind of a surprise, 21-13. Bentonville West 14, Rogers nothing. That's a real surprise.
That is.
But West has got a good team.
Yeah, I'll tell you what though, Rogers been kicking everybody.
Yeah, they whipped us pretty good last year. Then again this year, they really kind of got it going on over there.
Now, I don't know if you heard, but game of the week down there where we're from is actually Lavaca. And that's my little nephew out there, quarterback over for Lavaca.
Who's Lavaca playing tonight?
They're playing Westport, and they're winning 18-0 right now at the start of the fourth quarter. So.
I'll tell you, Lavaca's got some sports going on. They won last year they won the state championship, so in basketball.
In basketball,
yes.
Yep. Yeah, they got some ball players.
Yeah.
It looks like Harper's up on Springdale 14-6 too.
Well, I think there's some games, too, at Southside that are always some winnable games for the Mavs going in. They've had some tough ball games here early. Again, we trailed 34-17 here at the half. Be back here in just a bit. Going to take a break. Be back. Let everybody kind of watch the Fayetteville Marching Band, and then we'll come back and get ready for the second half.
Marshall, Transidetti, Matt Brusco, Caleb Pond, and Michael Cotton. With additional assistance from Rebecca Holland, Debbie Lawson, Nathan Leader, Roger McGinnis, Dan Bush, Betsy O'Connor, Angie Post, Ben Miller, and Daphne West. Let's hear another round of applause for the Fayetteville High School Marching Band. Second maid is Ella Caroline Kessner. Ella is the daughter of Kevin and Jennifer Kessner. Ella is being escorted tonight by her father, Kevin Kessner. Ella has been a member of the varsity dance team for 2 years. She also serves as the art editor for Connotations, the FHS literary magazine. Ella is the president of the Green Team, was a committee member to restart recycling at FHS, and a member of FHS ambassadors. Ella was also a poetry member of National Honor Society, and a member of the Spanish National Honor Society. She is also an active member of the Eco Fashion Club, Young Democrats Club, and the Happy Day campaign. Ella plans to attend the University of Colorado at Boulder. She plans to study sustainable architecture in their environmental design program. Ella's flowers are being presented by senior 26 Club member Ella Grace Cotton. Ella's sash is being pinned by senior 26 Club member Ellie Gilbert. second maid, Ella Caroline Kessner. Our first maid is Janet Fu. Janet is the daughter of Washong Fu and Kun Jin. She is being escorted tonight by her father, Washong Fu. Janet is a 2022 National Merit semi-finalist. She currently serves Fayetteville High School as the Student Council President. Janet is also U Alpha Theta President, a varsity track runner, Quiz Bowl and Science Bowl co-captain, and Model UN co-president. She is also a member of the National Honor Society, where she serves as Vice President. Janet is an Engineering Club officer, a member of Dog Crew, and a member of the Green Team. Janet plans to attend college and major in aeronautical engineering and economics. She plans to work on aircraft or for NASA. Janet's flowers are being presented to Junior 26 Club member Stella Garton. Janet's sash is being pinned by Junior 26 Club member Lindley Freeze. Our first maid, Janet Fu. Our maid of honor is Clementine Taylor. Clementine is the daughter of Dr. Robert and Kristen Taylor. She is being escorted tonight by her father, Dr. Robert Taylor. Clementine currently serves as the FCCLA president. Her FCCLA service project received a gold ranking at the national level. Clementine serves as a photographer for the yearbook and an event photographer for 3W Magazine. She is a member of the National Honor Society, National English Honor Society, and National Music Honor Society. Clementine is also a member of the 26 Club, both a cappella choir and the competitive encore choir. She was also selected to the 2022 Arkansas All-State Choir. Clementine plans to be the 7th member of her family to attend the University of Arkansas, where she plans to study psychology and then go to law school. Clementine's flowers are being presented by Senior 26 Club member Lily Wise. Clementine's sash is pinned by Senior 26 Club member Ella Weiler. Our maid of honor, Clementine Taylor. And now for our flower girl and crown bearer. Our flower girl and crown bearer are Piper Bell Milton and Luke Harley Milton. Piper and Luke Milton are the daughter and son of Scott and Laura Milton. Piper is 8 years old and is in the 3rd grade. She loves to shop and her favorite food is pizza. Piper's favorite color is blue and her favorite sport is gymnastics. When Piper grows up, she wants to be an artist. Luke is 7 years old and is in the 2nd grade. He loves to play Legos and his favorite food is anything chocolate. Luke's favorite color is gold and his favorite sport is baseball. When Luke grows up, he wants to be a physical education teacher and coach, just like his dad, Coach Milton.
supposed to be there. You guys all would have been over there by Fayetteville, It's basically.
Carson's flowers are being presented by senior 26 club member Jay Marshall. Carson's sash is being pinned by senior 26 club member Maddox Cisco. Ladies and gentlemen, our 2022 Fayetteville High School homecoming queen, Carson Hope Wassmiller and her court.
So mean.
Well, that's people for you. It's probably not on that side though. Probably should be facing this way instead.
Once again, Queen Hope Wassmiller and her court.
When is the game starting?
Well, welcome back to the second half. Southside will receive the ball to start the second half. Terrell, the first half where Southside really offensively did well. The defense kind of stiffened there towards the end. So you got a little momentum coming in the second half. If Southside can continue offensively what they did in the first half, get a quick score, get back in this ball game and make a game of it.
Yeah, come out here right now, punch it in, get it back to a two-score game, and do what we do.
very chilly night up here. This is probably the coldest night of the year. We were kind of laughing in here. I think they've got the air conditioning on in the press box. And
It works well.
It works well. Yes, it does. And our camera folks out there doing a great job for us tonight. Here's a return. That's Zimmerman on the return. Actually gets across the 35-yard line. Nice return for the Mavs. They'll start their opening drive of the second half on their 38-yard line. Again, I think a key, too, for the Mavs definitely has been their ability to work that clock, work that play clock. You know, you get in that rhythm, and it's great to have that rhythm going. And, you know, when you want to try to stall the game out or what you want to do, you want to eliminate a lot of time, keep your defense off the field if you can. And Mavs did a great job of that in the first half.
We've had a real nice mix of running pass, too, kind of keeping Fayetteville from pinning their ears back. And Harold's had a ton of time.
Here's a handoff to Gregory, going to fight forward, going to get maybe about 3 yards. Brings up second down, 2nd and 7 for the Mavs.
3 yards in a cloud of dust.
Fayetteville, as quick as they are, they're a bit undersized, too. They're kind of unusual for a 7A West team. You know, we saw the size of those big players for Bentonville last week, and Fayetteville doesn't have that size, but they overcome all that size with their quickness.
You got a fella down there playing nose guard that looks like he might be a little bit of a thumper, though.
Here's the handoff to Gregory, going to fall forward for maybe about 2 yards. We'll bring up third down, and let's call it about 3.
Gave him a pretty good spot that time, though.
Yeah, he did good because it looked like it was nothing there, and Gregory was able to lean forward just a little bit and get some positive yardage. Bring up third down. Actually be about 2 to go. Ball will be spotted at the 46-yard line. Fayetteville may come with an outside blitz here. Now he'll back off. Cerro calls out signals down to 3 on the play clock. Here comes an inside blitz, and they timed it perfectly as Juracek comes in on the blitz and hits Gregory in the backfield for a big loss. Well, if you're the Mavs, now you've got a decision to make here. 4th down, 4th and about 5, and down 34-17. I think what you're really playing for here, if you punt the ball away, you're saying, hey, we're going to try to keep the score down. If you go for it, you may try to get back in it, and Southside going to punt the ball.
Now, I thought maybe right there in that field position, they'd at least try to draw them off sides before kicking it.
Well,
take the 5-yard penalty if you have to. But.
Yeah, I think, too, what kind of changed coach's mind on that was the play that Juracek just made.
Mm-hmm.
Now we've got a whistle on the play. Got a shoelace we got to take care of for the receiving player for Fayetteville.
It's like one of those balk calls after the catcher's got the ball.
That's Jacob Carey back, stands back at his 20-yard line. If you got a fake punt, would you run it here?
Yes, I would.
Here's a snap to York. Gets a punt off. It's a low-line drive punt that's going to hit and take a nice Southside bounce inside the 20-yard line. Going to be down at about the Fayetteville 17-yard line. That's where Fayetteville will start their first drive of the second half. A lead here, 34-17.
This is where we need to get that big break. I'd love to right here on this end of the field too. 18-yard line would be just right.
Yeah, Fayetteville come with a little bit of a different look. They've got a wing man and a running back in the backfield. We haven't seen that tonight. Here's a low snap that Lindsey's going to keep. Going to be hit and dropped for a big loss back at the 12-yard line. That's Ben Beelan making the play for the Southside defense. It's one thing that Fayetteville's really struggled with has been, and it's that snap you're talking about. That's kind of that wobbler coming back there. And
that one hit him in the shoestrings.
Yeah, and, you know, he's looking, trying to read the defense at the same time he's trying to catch the football. Bring up second down, 2nd and 15 here early in the third quarter. Lindsey wants to throw the ball, has time to throw the ball, and here comes the pressure. They're going to get him back and going to hit him again. Back inside the 10-yard line, going to drive him to the ground. What a great job by Southside defense. And what they've done different, too, is as we talked about in the first half, they're dropping those backers back. I think they've got Lindsey confused a bit here.
He's not reading that very well at all.
I've got to question this for moving the ball back to the 10-yard line. I know they drove him back, but they hit him on about the 6 or 7, didn't they?
Sure did.
Big third down here for the Mav defense. Third down, 3rd and 18. Southside going with a 3-man rush. Lindsey's got all day to throw the ball. Throw the ball's going to be incomplete. A great job by the Southside defense. Coach Cox doing a great job tonight of mixing things up now, kind of switching that defense up and confusing Lindsey a lot. And Southside also doing a very good job. Now that time they weren't able to. Parkinson, Gasoline, and Reeder doing a good job of getting penetration on the quarterback with only a 3-man rush.
Yeah, they still made him move around that time too. They didn't get a hand on him.
Returnable ball for Grayson York. He's going to get across the 45-yard line, be tackled at about the 44-yard line.
Lucky he got way too high because he had somebody right behind him. So he couldn't pick that pitcher. Jumped about as high as he could.
I like what Southside did coming out. I really like the idea of bringing the blitz. They paid for it, and it didn't work for them. But I like the idea of mixing it up and taking a few chances every once in a while. But a good job of Southside kind of reeling that in and going back to a 3-man rush.
Yeah, he definitely needs to if he can.
Pass out going to be complete. That's Zimmerman on the catch. He's at the 30-yard line. At the 25, 20. Cuts it back inside, down inside the 15.
There we go. Can't score on the first possession. This is the next best thing out here.
Zimmerman made a nice move, too. There was Deuce Carter was there in coverage. Excuse me, Deuce Cooper was there in coverage, and he's able to break away from him. And actually, you talk about yards after the catch. That was a nice run. Here's a handoff to the outside, and going to lose yardage is Isaac Gregory. Fayetteville starting to change up their scheme a bit too here in the second half. You're seeing the backers coming on blitzes a lot more often. Miller, the linebacker, came on the blitz that time, and they're really kind of disrupting the Southside running game.
They're trying to say, you're not going to beat us with the run game.
Good decision by Harold. More receivers were open. A nice bootleg play. Fayetteville did a good job of coverage. Harold did a good job just to tuck it in and run game 2 on the play. Brings up 3rd down, 3rd and 8.
Sure did look, I mean, I know it's a long ways away, but it sure did look like they brought him down by his face.
And Southside going to work the clock down. We've got 6:40 to go here in the 3rd quarter.
Trips to the field.
Hill has time to throw the ball. He looks nobody open with throw the ball. It's going to be incomplete at about the 5-yard line. I believe that was Will Goodman. Excuse me, Zimmerman. He tried to get the ball to. That might be the kind of play too, though, Terrell, where Southside really struggling to get these receivers open. Fayetteville doing a great job in coverage. That might be a situation we saw last week, which is maybe bring Isaac Gregory out of the backfield and get him isolated one-on-one with maybe linebacker.
I'll tell you what, when it works, it's pretty.
Be a 30-yard field goal attempt for De La Souce. Ball is down, kick is up. Kick is good.
The leg.
The leg.
Actually, I'm kind of hoping my mic's not turning too much colorful language over here in the region.
Well, that's what you get when you have the coaches over. We did actually had that. We had that one time. It's been several years ago. We had to have a babysitter with one of the Southside coaches But that's been nobody that's here now. Somebody several years ago under Coach Lunny. And we all kind of got a kick out of it, except for what was going off on the air. So.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, I think it's awesome.
That's been a different look for the Mavs tonight. I don't know had we had Coach Key and Coach Cox up in the box tonight. Have they been doing that all year? I think they've been on the sideline.
I think they've been on the sideline most of the year.
I really like that. I like that idea. Just doing games up here, for us doing games, we can see certain things. Hey, we saw this safety maybe move up. We can sneak behind them if we run a fake off that same play. There's certain things you see up here that you're never going to see down on the field. But then again, too, I know a lot of the coaches like to be down the field to be able to communicate face-to-face to a lot of kids. Here's a squib kick. It's going to be filled at the 30-yard line.
That's about the fifth different look.
Keep them guessing. Well, you're down 14 now. Southside doing a good job here. They were down, pretty good there. 34 to 10 at one time.
Down 2-2 score again. That's what you got to do. Just claw your way back into it.
The defense has had 2 stops.
Now, the one thing that's nice about this weather up here, defense, they might get a little bit windy, but at least they don't have to worry about it being hot.
There's a running play. He's not going to get anything. There's Ben Beelan making the play for the Southside defense. Also Braxton Canada over the Southside defense, the junior linebacker. Having a solid ball game tonight from Mr. Canada. Brings up second down. Second and about 8. Oh, good job by the Southside defense. That was a play, too. If Lindsey tries to throw that ball in, there's Brandon Mitchell right there. He's going the other way.
That's the second one he's been eyeballing.
Excuse me, Blake Mitchell.
Digging his chops that time.
Yeah, he had that ball played right there. But the
I think
defense is.
He saw end zone.
From what I'm seeing out here, too, they've really got, knock on wood, they've got Lindsey really confused offensively. He's really struggling at times here to make the plays. And Southside going to 3-man rush. Pass roll Miller going to be complete. He's going to get a breakaway and hit and dropped at the 38-yard line. Blake Mitchell on the tackle. That was Delamar on the catch. That has been the one thing, too, on these crossing patterns. Southside's really struggled on that. Yeah, it's the yards after the catch. Fayetteville going back to the no-back offense. The pass going to be incomplete. I'm not sure that Mr. Lindsey wasn't across the line of scrimmage on that. Well, I was telling that story last week when we played Fayetteville up at Southside, where Southside had 4th down towards the end of the ball game. It had rained all day and it was a grass field. And Southside completed the pass for about 60 yards. And there's Daryl Patton out there looking for the cleat marks, and about 1,000 cleat marks, and he talked him into it. Here's some pressure from Reeder. Here's the ball outside. It's going to be tipped and almost intercepted. That was our man, Mr. Mitchell, over there. Almost has the Oski. Brings up 3rd down, 3rd and 10. Well, we talked about, that player 2 or 3 plays ago, he had a chance if Lindsey doesn't throw the ball away. Here comes the Heath this time. It's going to be an inside screen. It's going to be complete. Boy, they had a chance to get him right there. He gets away at the 30-yard line. We'll have a 1st down inside the 30, down to about the 28-yard line. That's Kalen Morris on the catch.
I know they say you can call a hold just about any play, but you couldn't really call one.
Well, the Mavs came with the blitz that time, trying to give them a different look. And Finch is able to recognize that and hit Morris kind of crossing over the middle for a nice completion. He 1st and 10 at the Southside 28-yard line. Here comes a pass, going to be complete. And cut back inside, going to be hit, dropped after about a 25-yard line. That is. Russell Key got a hold of it and did a good job. You know, that was single coverage over there. He comes up and gets a hold of it and gets a little help over there as Cage Cashling finishes the play off, brings up 2nd down, 2nd and 7 for the Bulldogs. This will be the 7th play of this drive. Southside coming full heat again this time. Fayetteville picks it up, throws the ball in the middle. It'll be complete for the touchdown.
Well, he took a shot after throwing that one.
That was Blake McKinney on the touchdown.
He's still trying to wake back up.
Bit surprised though. I gotta just wondering. Southside doing a great job with that 3-man rush, and then they go back to the trying to put the blitz on, and Fayetteville's able to take advantage of it. Well, you're trying to make things happen, but I think Southside can actually play a 3-man rush, and the reason I think they can is because you got Parkinson out there. He's very good at that. I think Reeder does a good job of getting penetration, and then Cage Cashling going 150 miles an hour over there.
And he forces them back, you know, the other direction. That's really what you want them to do, is make them throw from the side they don't want to throw from. It seems to work out pretty well for us.
Defense should be well rested. They've not been on the field that long. Southside offense has done a good job. If you look at time of possession, I think it's probably pretty close to 2-1 in Southside's favor. Well, if you're definitely going to have a chance in this ball game, I think it's here right now. You're going to have your offense going to have to step up and make some plays. But give Fayetteville defense some credit too, though. They made some changes on defense, had those backers blitzing at certain spots, and really have kind of taken the Southside running game away.
Yeah, that's what I kind of seeing is like they're going to make you beat them through there. They're not going to let you beat them on the ground.
Here's a return by Zimmerman. Sees a hole at the 35. He's at the 40. 45 will be at midfield. Will cross over to the 48-yard line, 47-yard line. Zimmerman's had 2 or 3 really nice returns tonight.
He really has. The only thing I don't like seeing is Fayetteville team sure does like to tackle out of bounds.
This may be coming back.
That's not usually where you like to see a flag on the kicking return.
Yeah, nice hole off that right side.
You saying maybe a little bit too nice of a hole?
I don't know. It's kind of like that Bentonville game. That kid had a nice hole off the side running for the touchdown, but, you know, he could have run a Mack truck through it, but, you know, the wrestling coach would have been happy with that play. So if you're Southside offensively, Fayetteville changing up their defense, trying to stop the run. Southside going to have to figure out some way, and I'm thinking they're going to have to get Grayson York.
Get those screens going, and you know, kind of let those defensive linemen over pursue.
Just a quick pass over the middle, going to gain about 2 or 3 on the play. That's to Grayson York. They're trying to bring Grayson York underneath the linebackers, and actually just past the linebackers underneath the safeties and get him the ball in space, trying to get him to run. But Fayetteville did a good job of taking that play away.
It almost acts like a counter to some of our other pass plays.
He's 2nd down, 2nd and 7 for the Mavs. Here's a fumble on the play by Gregory, and going to be recovered by Fayetteville. Not sure he ever had it.
didn't look like it went off his knee.
The other thing I haven't noticed, though, when Fayetteville makes a first down, I'm not a herd. That's another Fayetteville first down.
Yeah. I haven't heard that much at all.
Because I know they were talking when it got to third down, they were kind of similar to what the Razorbacks do. And Fayetteville will go with one back in the backfield. That Setzer back there with Drake Lindsay. Setzer gets a handoff, and he's going to be dropped. Well, he gets away from the initial tackle. That looked like a Shelby over there trying to make the play for the Southside defense.
Had a hold of him in the backfield. It sure did look like his knee came down. That's what I was thinking of.
Southside backers have been very active tonight.
Been all over
We
the
talked
field.
about Canada. Shelby's made some plays. Bring up second down here. Setzer on the handoff, going to be hit, drop. Beelan's had a good ball game.
He has. One thing I've kind of been missing is old Sam Horn. Haven't heard him in much.
Sam we haven't seen him on the field a lot. He played a lot of special teams last week. His dad was a really good baseball player, Waylon. Brings up third down, third and about 7. We've got 2:04 to go here in the third quarter. As he looks, wants to throw the ball, he's going to throw it incomplete.
He might be in Lindsey's head a little bit. He seems to be throwing that ball a little bit higher than he was in the first game.
Well, he's not as comfortable. One thing you'll notice is different too is we talked about this in the first half was what we call part to see, where we were laughing because Lindsey wouldn't run with the ball, but what it did, it opened up a lot of space. You know, he could see the field a lot better. I think Southside's kind of taken that away by backing off the blitzing, and you're right, it's confused him. Definitely wasn't set on that throw. They'll go for it here on fourth down. Here's a throw going to be complete. That's Morris over the middle. We'll get inside the 10-yard line down to about the Southside 7-yard line.
Junk plays.
Here it goes.
Yeah.
There's first and goal. Here's the handoff to Setzer. Breaks the first tackle, gets inside the 5 down to about the 3.
All I can figure is they're setting it up for the fans to yell out first down or something instead of saying it loud. Double stack it this time.
Here's a handoff again to Setzer. Breaks the first tackle, gets down close to the goal line. Cage Castling going to make the play for the Southside defense. Castling looked like
He got a hold of both angles.
well, yeah, he looked like Setzer looked like he broke the tackle, but Castling wouldn't give
He
up.
just
Actually
wouldn't
made the
let go.
play. It's a good defensive play by Cage Castling. Again, third down, third and goal for the Bulldogs. The Southside jumps in the neutral zone. That's okay, though.
Yeah, right there. It
Yeah.
doesn't hurt you at all.
Yeah, ball's on the 1-yard line. You're going to move it up. Now, let's just hope we don't have a conference to figure out how to move the ball up 6 inches.
That's it.
And they're still trying to figure it out.
They're reviewing the replay.
It was obvious it was outside
Oh.
backer from the Mavs.
Way over.
So they'll move it up just a bit. Be third down and goal for Fayetteville. Hand off 2 sets. Who's going to get in the end zone for the touchdown. We've got the injured Mav on the play too. Yes, Fayetteville now increases their lead to 47-20. Just a nice drive. We had them a chance to get off the field on fourth down, but they're able to make the play. And can't Can't tell who it is and don't want to make a comment on who it is. John Parkinson injured Maverick. Don't need to see that.
No, it looks like lower leg. I was thinking cramp at first, but it looks like maybe his ankle.
Hope he's okay. Looks like he's walking on it, so that's a good sign. Extra points up, and it's good. Actually, no good. Missed it to the right. Well, there goes that college goalpost.
Yeah. Coming in handy here late.
47-20. We've got 28 seconds to go in the third quarter. Well, I've seen some good things from this Maverick team. That it's just like it's not the good you see, and then they had a really good first half moving the football. Fayetteville was able to make some adjustments and has done a good job of really slowing us down here in the second half. Defensively, we made some adjustments. We're able to do some things differently that was able to confuse the quarterback, but he's able to make up for those as they get another touchdown. And it's a strange game though, Terrell, because to me it's been a game, especially in the first half, where I think we did some things in the first half that we competed well. But then we did some things in the first half that gave up too many easy touchdowns, had the big turnover, and we do some things that you just can't do when you're 1-4. Here's Zimmerman on the return again. Makes the first man miss, and I think they blew it dead on the first one. Got 19 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Southside trails 47-20.
And this might come across as a little bit counterintuitive, but really right here you want to run that clock as much as you can, because you got to give that defense a break to have any chance of coming back down 27. 3-score game, that's tough. 4-score game, near impossible. So
well,
you got to do something right.
You kind of had your chance in the second half when it was 34-20. You had your chance right there, and then Fayetteville's able to make the conversion on fourth down, which is really big. And then this last one, we've had 2 turnovers that have hurt us both times. Here's a handoff to Gregory. Crosses the 25-yard line up to the 26-yard line. We'll gain 4 on the play, and that'll probably be the last play of the third quarter. Three-quarter Southside trails 47-20.
Yeah, we were talking earlier about what's the wind actually do down there. I don't even know why they're making it.
Southside will have second down, 2nd and 6 as we start the fourth quarter, down 47-20. Terrell wants to throw the ball. Here comes the heat. He'll take the ball deep down the field. Ball goes incomplete. There's intent for Jackson Pruitt on the sideline. Brings up third down, 3rd and 6. Well, the game plan for teams going forward, I think, when they play Southside, obviously is they're going to take away Gregory, take away the running game is going to be the key, and then they're going to force Southside to hit them with some big plays in the passing game. And it didn't help Southside not having Xander Connor tonight. Here's a pass that's going to be incomplete, intended for Grayson York. Will bring up 4th down. There'll be a 3 and out for the Mavs. There's Deuce Cooper on the coverage for Fayetteville. Looks like Southside may go ahead and go for it here.
Yeah, I think I'd at least try to draw him off.
What'd you think of that last week? I had a discussion about that with Arkansas trying to go up there on 4th down as Harrell takes the snap. Wants to throw the ball, throws the ball, it's going to be incomplete. Fayetteville will take over on downs at the south side of the 26-yard line. But what I was talking about, Terrell, was that play last week. Arkansas 4th and half a yard on their own 35-yard line, try to draw them off sides, and then take a delay of game penalty on your own end of the field.
I mean, if it works, it's great. You're a genius.
But don't you take a time? Don't you take a timeout before you run the clock out?
I would.
Southside coming with an outside blitz. Here's a keeper by the quarterback. They've got a new quarterback in the ball game. I believe that is Landon Schaefer, the new quarterback for Fayetteville.
Yeah, they actually run a quad set out there.
That's something you hadn't seen tonight from Fayetteville's running quarterback.
Well, the old Wildcat.
He's 2nd down, 2nd and 8 for the Bulldogs. You've got 11-14 to go in the ball game.
Right back to that empty.
The inside screen again. That's Morris again on the catch. He's going to run across the field. He's going to get to the 15, cuts it back inside to the 10, to the 5, touchdown.
That guy's slippery.
That was a nice play by Kalen Morris. A great individual effort. He started on one side of the field, works his way all the way across the field, was able to avoid 2 or 3 Mavericks, gets in the end zone for the touchdown. And now we are, let's see, that's 33 points ahead. So we'll see if they go for 2 here. And I think they probably will to try to get into the Arkansas activities mercy rule. You know, you think about this too. You're thinking, well, they go for 2 here. They're ahead by 33. And you're saying, well, that coach is trying to run it up. No, he's not really. There's a chance to put this game away, keep anybody from getting hurt in the ball game. And really, I think this is a really good call. Pass to the corner of the end zone is going to be intercepted. That's Russell Key on the interception.
Well, we kind of talked about that last week. These guys get in the red zone, we got a chance to stop them. They get up there about the 50-yard line. They get those big chunk plays.
That was just a great individual effort by Kalen Morris on that touchdown. It's a pretty simple play. Just get the ball out to him, let him do his thing. You know, we talk about yards after the catch. You know, you got to be close to the guy when he catches the ball. He's able to catch the ball going inside away from the defender, so it's kind of a chase situation right there. Then he comes across the field, and once he got across the field, he turned that corner. He was gone.
I mean, we did make him run 97 yards to pick up about a 13-yard
Yeah, he had to work for it. You got 10:57 to go here. If you're Southside, what you want to do, you want to get something going offensively. You got to feel good because, you know, even the score being what it is Zimmerman will return the ball here for the Mavs. You know, that's been a bright spot for Southside tonight. Has been the job of Carter Zimmerman returning kickoffs.
He's running tough. He gets that ball. He's low to bring down.
Southside will start this drive on the 29-yard line. I think we did find something tonight, though, Terrell. I think that the Southside defense has shown they've got the ability to go with the three-man rush.
Against the best talent in the state. I mean, it's not like they really got blown out on defense.
There's a pass out going to be complete. He crosses the 35-yard line. Will have a Southside first down as he gets up to the 40-yard line. That's Zimmerman on the catch. Actually, they'll spot him back at the 39-yard line. Still think that's a first down. We've seen Zimmerman on both sides of the ball tonight. Special teams, defense, cornerback, and wide receiver having a solid ball game tonight for the Mavs. Here's a pass going to be incomplete. It was intended for Jackson Pruitt.
I give her a little credit on that one. He did hit him in the hands.
This Maverick team is really struggling with right now, too, as far as throwing the football tails. They don't really have that guy like a Luke Pruitt or a Desmond Lopez fullback they had last year that could stretch the field. There's not that big play threat, so you get a lot of single coverage. Here's a good run by Gregory off the side. It's going to be run out of bounds, and we'll have another Southside first down. Now, York had 2 or 3 really good ball games there early in the year. Really hasn't done a whole lot since conference play started.
Well, the last couple games we've been struggling to get the ball to him. Like most times when he's been targeted, the ball's gone well over his hands.
First and 10 for the Mavs at the Fayetteville 46-yard line. Here's the keeper by Harold. Follows his right tackle over there. I believe that was big old number 76 for Southside. 79, Cooper Anderson.
I couldn't tell if he was following him or riding him. There for a minute there. It looked like he's...
Yeah, as big as Anderson is at 270, he might have been trying to hide behind him.
Yeah, I think that's what the initial plan was.
He's second down, second 6 for the Mavs. They've got exactly 9:57 to go into the ball game. Harold wants to throw the ball, throws the ball out complete to Will Goodman, who will have a first down for the Mavs.
Good see him hold on to that one.
Actually did get a really good spot. It looks like maybe a bit short. Oh, he's going to study it for a while. I'll say this for the chain games, the officials and everything. I don't know how they're able to keep the ball spotted the way they do. I did chains couple of years for Darby Junior High, and that I could see how a guy could get to thinking about other things going on.
I've always been on the sideline coaching, you know what I mean? So I never really knew how to do them. And then when my kids playing junior high ball, like you said, I mean, kind of asked for some volunteers. My first game to go down there, I was like, okay, I'm happy to help. Teach me how. I have no idea what I'm doing down here.
The thing I did learn about doing that, though, is you definitely want to be quick and get out of the way if they come your way, especially in the high school game. It's luckily I never had to do that. So
no, we threw the change down. We just took off.
Every man for himself.
We weren't too worried about where the actual spot was at that point.
I was spotting just about, I'm going to say about 6 chain lengths short. Bring up third down for the Mavs. This place, too, you could actually, third and what they've got to get, you could actually, I mean, you could go ahead and try to get the first down or maybe try to,
you got it.
Or try to heave one, yeah.
Knowing you got 2 downs to make 3 inches.
Not sure what's going on here. Coach Dameron might have been questioning something going on.
So it's first and 0.
Yeah, they got him first down now, so yeah. Got that corrected. Now it'll be third down and about 3 chain links. Here comes a handoff to Gregory, and he's going to fight his way, and let's see, it's going to be close. I think he's got it now. Should be just shy of the 35-yard line.
Second ever got it.
I don't know. The guy coming
They
in
keep
from the
backing
far,
it up, don't
well, the guy from the Southside
side.
sideline
Oh,
had it a first down, and then the other guy came running in
Yeah.
about half a yard back.
that's what I was thinking. Fayetteville line judge come over.
And I'll tell you what, our friend Dalton Person would be thrilled right now. This will be looks like they're going to go ahead and try to do a measurement on it. And his big thing was you never see measurements in high school football. Well, Dalton Person, this will be 2 plays in a row. I think he got a bad spot on the play because there was about a yard difference from where the 2 linemen were. And let's see, yeah, that's first down.
Yeah, the only thing I can figure is they might have blown that one dead on the first contact. He was still moving forward.
Got 9:16 to go here in the ball game. First and 10 for the Mavs at the Fayetteville 36-yard line. Earl sets his team up, has Gregory in the backfield, wants to take the ball deep down the field, has an open receiver and a nice catch over there for the Mavs.
They've been trying to hit that one all night. They finally got it.
I believe that was our man Carter Zimmerman over there for the catch. If you had to pick a player of the game tonight, I think Carter Zimmerman's definitely the one that you'd have to look at.
He's right up there. I mean, Gregory's had that salty ball too. Definitely got rid of those 2 guys.
There's a nice fake by Harold, throws the ball away, and that's a good job of just getting rid of the football. Speaking of Gregory, Gregory's over there holding his arms up on the side. He was wide open on the side. But, you know, when you're running for your life, you don't always see the field as good as you'd like to.
Yeah, he heard footsteps.
It'll bring up second down, second and 10 for the Mavs.
Actually, thought it was a pretty smart pass, though. I mean, Grayson doesn't come back and get that thing over.
Second down and 10 for the Mavs. We've got 8:48 to go here in the ball game. Here's handoff to Gregory. Going to try to fight his way inside. It's going to get maybe 2 or 3 yards. Got a little help there from Kobe Brandon trying to push the pile.
He sure did. That's a lot of help, too.
They'll get 3 on the play, brings up third down. Actually, they'll give him 4. Be third down, third and 6. 8:19 to go here in the ball game.
Tell you what, if there's a silver lining to this game, bright spot, whatever, you got to say the keep games.
There's another interception, and he's going to take it to the house.
I hate that for Harold. He jumped back up as soon as he got hit. Try to get over there in time to make a stop on
That was Jason Holt on the return for Fayetteville. That's 2 interception returns tonight for Fayetteville Bulldogs. We're definitely in the mercy rule now. The clock has stopped with 7:52 to go here. Really going to be a disappointing ending for the Mavs as they now trail 60-20. This is a good Fayetteville team. They went into the north side, really destroyed the Grizzlies during the preseason. Got a really good team. The 7A West Conference is really tough this year. I think there's really 4 teams that, if you look at, have a definite chance. Maybe not to make it all to Little Rock, but there's 2 or 3 of them I think have a really good chance to go to Little Rock. But you've got Rogers, you've got Fayetteville, Bentonville, and even Bentonville West are really 4 good teams that could make it to the semifinals this year.
They'll all be in the hunt, that's for sure.
Central, as good as they are, they're top heavy this year. I think you look at the Central, you've got really 3 teams that I think are definite threats to make it to Little Rock. That'd be Conway, Cabot, and Bryan. North Little Rock is kind of in disarray this year. They've struggled at times. Were beat early by Little Rock Catholic, and things aren't going the way they usually go for them. So there's a chance that we could see 7A maybe get back some dominance this year.
See that conflict.
And if there's a better quarterback out there that we've seen this year than what Carter and I was last week for Bentonville, I'd like to see that young man.
I think Nye's about the best there is out there.
Unbeknownst to me, he is his dad is Rodney Nye, that was a all Southeast Conference player for the Razorback. Here's a nice return again by Zimmerman. He's going to be hit out of bounds, but not a lot of contact there.
Hit him out of bounds on that.
But as we said, that's definitely been the bright spot for the Mavs. 2 or 3 nice catches by Zimmerman. Solid there in the first quarter at cornerback for the Mavs.
Jordan had a few early too.
His return yardage has been really good.
Stellar.
It's good to see too, because everybody wants to kick the ball away from Gregory. Well, now you've got someone else back there that's shown that they can return it. First and 10 for the Mavs. They'll start this drive on their 49-yard line. Here's a handoff to Joaquin Fox. Going to get across midfield, maybe to the 49-yard line.
Still some big blocks going on.
Oh, no, I'm looking at that size difference over there. I like that, though, from Southside. I love that effort. Just keep going at it. You're
Till you
down.
hear the whistle.
Yeah, just keep going at it. Again, we've got 7:03 to go here. The clock probably won't stop the rest of the way. Here's another handoff to Fox. Going to be hit and dropped. Might be a 1-yard gain to bring up 3rd down, 3rd and 7. Next week, the Mavericks return home to Jim Rowan Stadium as they'll take on the Rogers Heritage War Eagles. That's a ball game that Southside had 3 really tough ball games. They'll come in next week against a War Eagle team that has their own struggles they've been dealing with all year. So it's a game that Southside hopefully can come in with some confidence and have a good ball game next week. I really think the last part of the schedule is, Southside's got a chance to do some things. You look at this score tonight, and yeah, it's out of hand right now, but you see things. You're playing some good teams. With Fayetteville, Bentonville, and Rogers, you're playing some really good teams. Really, the only game of the 3 that I thought that Southside really got manhandled was obviously the first game against Rogers, down 35-zip in the first half. Other than that, Southside's been competitive.
At least through the first half. That's right.
It comes down to, Coach Dameron told me one time, a lot of what it comes down to is you look at Southside, you look at the numbers, you look at that Fayetteville sideline, all the kids they have over there, then you look at the Southside sidelines, depth. There's not a lot of depth there. Here's a nice pass going to be incomplete, intended for Will Goodman. Got his hands on the ball, but not able to bring it in, and Southside will turn the ball over on bounds.
Had those hands upside down again, little baby basket. See so many times where that ball just skips right off your hands if you don't have the arms out.
Another tough night for the Mavs. Let's start the clock up at 5:23 to go here. Again, you got Landon Schaefer in at quarterback. Southside, I believe Fayetteville may have moved before Southside jumped in the neutral zone. Really good reaction too. I think it was Hayden Chafee over there off the right side. Fayetteville will be content just to run as much time off the clock as they can. Schaefer wants to throw the ball, throws the ball out, going to be complete. Not going to be much serious as you get back close to the original line of scrimmage.
It's Huggins over there making that play. Find somebody else to make it.
That's Charlie Graves on the catch. Both teams got the subs in now. Up the middle, going to be stopped at the 46-yard line. Evan Shelby there to make the play for the Southside defense. Bring up third down, third about 4.
Sam Moore.
Get some pressure in there. They're going to get a stop here as they get to the 45-yard line. We've got 3:41 to go here in the ball game. See what Fayetteville wants to do here. Looks like they may go ahead and go for it.
Can you run down there and tell them watch the ball? I bet they go with a hard play.
Handoff. Southside going to get a stop here. Take over on downs. Thought that was Nico Piazza getting off the pile for the Mavs.
And I'm just going to correct how they pronounce Hayden Chafee.
Did we get a Chaffee?
Yeah, we got a Chaffee. I guess it's to be expected.
Well, I didn't know where the PA guy was, or I would have tried to correct that. I've done that when Landon was playing. I went to several places
right?
because the reason I did it because the first few games I probably made that mistake.
Well, I mean, spelled their name wrong on a piece of paper.
Mavs going to change it up a bit. They're going to go ahead and bring in some new players into the ball game. Again, it was just one of those games where Southside did some things that was good. Here's a handoff at the middle, not going to be much there. That was Zayden Webb on the carry. That's a Nozzle will check in the ball game for the Mavs at quarterback. Again, it comes down to mistakes hurt the Mavs again tonight. Had 3 turnovers, 2 of them interceptions that run back for touchdowns.
Like I said, you're a 1-14. It's really tough to overcome those mistakes.
Here's a run by Webb's going to make a nice run, going to have close to a first down. He gets the ball down to the Fayetteville 44-yard line.
Think they're going to let Hudson air it out right here?
I would. Down to 1:40 on the clock. Maybe time for maybe 3-4 more plays. Of course, you got your second teamers in there, so it's going to be a little bit harder to get the plays off as quick as you'd like to. 2 receivers either side of the field. Here's a handoff to Fox. It's going to be hit and dropped at the Fayetteville 45-yard line. Going to be under a minute before this next snap. just kind of got away in the second half. Southside with a chance there. They kept the lead to 34 to 20, and then it's like the wheels fell off after that. Here's the Fox going to the outside. Gets inside the 40-yard line. Will fight his way down to about the 37-yard line.
Cut to that ball popped up. Looks like we're going to have the ball at the end of the game.
Maybe a chance for one more play. We're down to 28 seconds on the clock. To Webb. He's going to be smothered right at the line of scrimmage. Will fall forward maybe for a yard. That may be your last play of the game. So we're down to 6 seconds on the clock. And that will be your ball game. The Southside will fall to 1-5, 0-3 in conference play now. A tough loss for the Mavs. They fall tonight 60 to 20. But Terrell, it was a ball game again. We've harped on this. There were some good things that happened for the Mavs in the ball game. Offensively, I thought they played really well the first half. Fayetteville did a good job of making some changes in the second half to really negate what Southside was wanting to do. And it was a situation where I think now other teams will see that, and they're going to really, Southside's going to have to try to figure something out in this passing game to get it going, because I think that's, if they're going to win some ball games this year, it's going to have to come there.
Well, and I think the really nice thing about this one tonight, I mean, there's not really anything bad you can say about the defense. I mean, they weren't really the ones giving up all the points. These mistakes on the other side of the ball. However, on the offensive side of the ball, we're moving the football. And, you know, kicking games there, special teams there. You're in position to make it season. You got to get it started here pretty quick.
Well, and they did something too on defense. It really struggled in the first half, gave up some easy touchdowns, but the second half, when they changed and started going with the three-man rush, I think that was really kind of slow. It actually kind of confused Lindsey, the quarterback for Fayetteville, but also kind of slowed the pace of the game down. They were able to eliminate the big plays and actually got off the field two or three times doing that, but then they kind of went back to that blitz again. It kind of caught up to them there towards the end. But I think it's one of those deals, if you're the Southside coaching staff, sometimes you just try to reach for things and do what you think you can do to try to win a ball game. And that's what Southside did. Didn't happen tonight as they fall 60 to 20. But as I said, you've had 3 ball games now where I think the Rogers game was just not a very good effort at all. Simple as that. That's all you can really say about that. But I think against Bentonville, a very good Bentonville team last week, a very good Fayetteville team tonight, I think the scores don't really reflect how Southside played, but I think there's a lot of improvement there on both sides of the ball, and hopefully we can carry that next weekend against the Heritage Warriors.
Keep buttoning it up. That's about all you can do is just keep buttoning it up.
Again, Southside falls tonight 60 to 20. They'll return home next Friday night to Jim Rowland Stadium as the Rogers Heritage Warriors will come to town. The game will start at 7 o'clock next week, and hope to have a good crowd out there. And I think Southside can build on that, what they did tonight, hopefully carry that to hopefully a victory next week against the War Eagles. Terrell, great job tonight. Be careful going home, and just want everybody, we appreciate everybody watching the ball game tonight, and have a great weekend, and go Mavs.